Hi, my name is Karen and I'm a high school English teacher. I have been teaching for 17 years at the high school level, and my job is a very rewarding job. I chose it initially because English was one of my favorite subjects in high school, and I really loved reading and literature, and I realized that another passion is working with people and helping people, and those two blended together, and I went to university to become an English teacher, and never have regretted a second of it. On a day-to-day basis, my job is very multifaceted. Obviously, I work with kids daily, and I teach 6 out of 7 classes a day. I teach English to junior students all day long, and when you go into teaching English, you don't really get to say, I want to work with freshmen or I want to work with seniors. You basically just get what is available. So I've worked with all levels, grades 9 through 12, and my job really requires grading and teaching and working with kids and colleagues and parents and administrators and guidance counselors, all for the success of children and ensuring that they can read and write and think critically. One of my most important jobs is to plan my instruction around the state standards as far as curriculum goes. So planning takes a lot of time because it's not just a matter of telling students, read these stories and answer these questions. It's about getting students engaged and involved and passionate about reading and writing. And that often, occurs through the medium of lecture, through group work, through students working in pairs. And it's my job to make it very exciting for them and make them want to learn and make them want to meet the challenge of becoming more proficient as far as reading and writing and critical thinking go. So the requirements for becoming an English teacher are to earn a bachelor's degree in English education. That's the easiest way to go. There are other ways to go about it as well. For example, if you are majoring in just English and you don't have an English background, you can go through an alternative certification program where you would agree to earn some credits in education as well, and then hopefully get hired. There are also other job opportunities available if you want to go into higher education. A master's degree can lead you in several different directions. You can become a department chair, and I have been working for 17 years and am the chair of my department. You can also become a high school administrator or guidance counselor and go into different directions. A PhD program is also a different option, and they do offer an increase in pay for those degrees in most places. There's also the National Board Certification Program, which is a 1-year program. It's very rigorous and demanding and asks for you as an educator to display all of your best qualities and attributes and show that you are truly at the top of your profession. And for those who meet the requirements of National Board, then they are certified for a 10-year period, and after the 10-year period, you'd have to be recertified, and many states offer additional pay for that as well. The best part of my job by far is working with students. I love to watch their light bulbs turn on when they've learned a skill and practiced it and become proficient at that skill, whether it be writing or reading comprehension, or even sometimes personal issues that they may be dealing with. Students need adults who care, and this is one of the most rewarding parts of my career, is being able to help the teenagers that I know are going through some of the hardest times in their lives. On the other hand, as far as teaching English goes, possibly the worst part of the job is the amount of grading that our particular course necessitates. Grading essays takes hours and hours a week. Your job will not end at 3 o'clock when the last bell rings. I do spend at least 2 hours a day with grading, and even on weekends, maybe 2 to 3 hours each day on the weekend, depending on what we're studying during that week. So whereas a math teacher will have to grade a Scantron or just grade multiple choice answers, teaching English really is very involved in terms of grading essays and making sure that students have the writing skills that are necessary to be competitive in the workforce. My final advice for anyone who wishes to pursue teaching English is to read a lot, to make sure that you have a solid background in literature and in all different time periods, fiction, nonfiction, poetry. Read, be literate. Also be prepared for the additional work that is involved as far as the grading goes, as far as being there for students, being available for parents. And if you are interested and you're either in high school or you're in your first or second year of college, I would definitely recommend asking a favorite high school teacher if you could sit in on their classes and just observe them from the other side of the desk. Instead of the student, picture yourself as the teacher in that classroom and how you might handle situations that arise on a day-to-day basis. Mostly, my advice is that you have to love kids in order to be a teacher.